And yeah, that explains the persecution I've been getting that's based on, these influential figures, that's women, it's like, because it's weird, a lot of them have like envy, towards, others, what I'm saying? Like as far as like my Omega and, some of them, pretty much they jealous of my Omega, you know what I'm saying? And so that's why they're doing my life like this. They're saying all these different things. No matter how much truth I speak, they're still there. It's like an all or nothing, attack on me. So basically, in a nutshell, when you think about it, they can see this kind of situation right here, and then they'll understand God's later decisions. You feel me? It'll be clear as glass, at that point. It's easy to understand, it's willful and willing disobedience to, not only God's moral standard, but also, you just willfully persecuting the servant of God and, preventing the furtherance or the spreading of the gospel of Christ on purpose and intentionally. You know what I'm saying? They try to keep you limited up under these falsehoods and all this. So, it's, every year I seen these people trying to destroy my life. You know what I'm saying? I seen from the beginning, they put people up just to take me out. It's an elaborate situation. I have no association with these women, as far as like, these influential figures who don't have my best interest in mind. You feel me? They constantly degrading the quality of my life. They're coercing and racketeering, with the knowledge of the structures and the government. They're still like everything I do, everything I touch, they ruin it, they destroying it, they're stalking me, they chasing me, you know what I'm saying? They destroying all of my sustainability, they getting in it, they gang banging on me, they doing all this with the structure knowledge, you know what I'm saying? All this stuff for me trying to do the will of God, all this stuff to stop my impact for God. I don't know them, I wouldn't associate with them, I wouldn't talk to them, I wouldn't speak with them, so I'm not fond of them, I don't embrace their stuff, their art, there's nothing about them, you know what I'm saying? Those specific individuals, you know what I'm saying? And yet they're still being allowed to play like hot potato with me, you feel me? Like, you know what I'm saying? They gang bang on businesses even, you know what I'm saying? So to the point where they can make, you know what I'm saying? Like they can get you into bad positions that would require the other person, like if it's two women, they require the other person to, intervene, quote unquote, in order to quote unquote protect you. But if you reject them, then they allow the other people to attack you. This is happening with the knowledge of the capitals. You know what I'm saying? After 3 years, they had knowledge of this, and this was happening to a servant of Jesus Christ. For doing the will of God in America. You know what I'm saying? And those people and those women are really just poster children. You feel me? They just poster people. You know what I'm saying? They're just the face of larger operation, deep-seated, premeditated operation that was already going on. They're just the ones used to water it down. You feel me? And that's what's happening. And then, so this whole, everything that you've seen has been like a massive game. You feel me? They've been playing like, you know what I'm saying? Their main goal and attention been to take out Ellie. You feel me? Take out influential messenger of God. Because my talent, they felt like was a threat to their mammy and their money. Even though I was on a totally different wavelength in a totally different, whole category. I had nothing to do with them. They lie on me in order to make us have association. You know what I'm saying? So they can cover up and take away of the evil and the murder that they did in the past already in order to prevent me from having, did the most impact I could for God, with my skill, my talent, and my range, because they felt intimidated by that. You know what I'm saying? So they were allowed to destroy me. And still to this day, it compounded. So you can understand why, you know what I'm saying? The Bible gonna come to pass. Those things shall come to pass. And you looking at it right now for a reason for it, you know what I'm saying? Reasons as to why it shall be like that, regardless of anything. And that's what you see when you see these kind of situations, and that's how it is. Yeah, man, it's elaborate, and these people, those influential figures, they, and then it's crazy because people be like, oh, we love, you know what I'm saying? They be like, all right, they see what these people doing to not only against Christianity, also betray their own country, their own society, also, destroying an innocent person, intentionally and willfully for many years, for no reason, with the giant, massive testimonies, massive display of art that disprove contrary, to anything they ever said, that's visible widely, nationally and globally, every year, but it's still happening. You feel me? But everybody says, you got something to be like, oh, we just, we love the people that's doing this. And the people that's doing this working for Satan. So they're saying that they love these people who doing it. These people don't do nothing for them. You know what I'm saying? I mean, all they do is embrace themselves and put out stuff out their own imagination, which most of the time is embracing sin. So what you're saying is you love them more than you love God. You know what I'm saying? And all that they're giving you is sin, which is going to lead you to hell. The blind lead the blind, feel me? So you got influential figures that's not doing nothing for people like that, until you mention it, then they do something. And that's only for those that's been destroying my life for no reason all these years, just to make sure that they didn't have any competition. I mean, I wasn't competing, but they compete with you even if you're not competing with them. You feel me? That's how it works. So I wasn't thinking like that. I'm thinking about doing the will of God. You know what I'm saying? People see me. I got various different various different fabrics and content and substance and stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm still ain't forgot the concept of my children's books. I've been already. That's something that I would have the blueprints for a while. I wouldn't be surprised now all of a sudden people changing up. They start. So you know what I'm saying? You see what I'm under attack. You know what I mean? This whole time, and it's infuriating. You know what I'm saying? Because my only purposes have been for good causes, and then they are hindrance in the work of God, which work at the salvation of many souls. And it's just a domino effect that they're causing by what they did to my life. That's irreversible. So that's why God gonna do irreversible. You feel me? That's fair. Because at this point, almost everybody know. Especially people that count. So that's the kind of situation though. And I'm infuriated. I'm infuriated. So you imagine how God feel. You know what I'm saying? But people can understand though why God gonna be mad at that point in time. You know what I'm saying? It's a prophecy. So God is slow to anger. You know what I'm saying? And he's abounding in mercy and love and long suffering. You know what I'm saying? But when he does get angry, he has a reason to. And that's in the Bible. So at that point in time is going to be the time when God's going to be angry. You know what I'm saying? Because everything transpired, then the cup going to be full. The cup of the wrath is going to be full. Because of the sin. Massive sin. It's not even a small situation. Some people try to trivialize and de-emphasize it in order to get away with it, but it's not that kind of situation. You know what I'm saying? It's a long-standing, premeditated situation, and they hate God, man. Haters of God. That's all I can think of. That's the nature of the situation. So people be like, they love all these people. I'm like, well, you love them enough to go to hell for them. Most people like persecutors, they misunderstand, they don't really understand the gravity of hell, and how it is. So they just continue with this. They keep enabling these people to destroy a work of God. You know what I'm saying? And God's good purpose and his goodness, every year, all year, 365, no rest, non-stop. I'm an eyewitness of this stuff since 14. Same people, same place, same thing. You know what I mean? What can you do? I've been doing the will of God the whole time. I didn't know about the attack, all this. I didn't know about, all the most horrific things that happened to my life when I was younger. I didn't even realize it until recent years. You feel me? So I didn't know about a lot of that stuff that most people apparently had already knew about. You know what I'm saying? It's just new to me. But situation, man, they hate God, man. And so you seek every year, all year, you know what I'm saying, the kind of thing that be happening. And they're attacking directly Jesus Christ, which means, well, then if you're only good as your highest, so that's defining the whole society. It's anti-him, anti-God, because of what he's doing to God at work, willfully and knowingly, and allowing it still, because they saying that they value demons more than they do God. Well, that's their choice. They chose this timeline, and so God gonna give them the portion that they earned themselves in due time. That's what they wanted. That's what God gonna give them to drink till it's all gone. You know what I'm saying? Just give it time. But you understand, though. You know what I'm saying? Most understand why timeline like this, because it's a decision they're constantly choosing to make every day, 365 every year. You know what I'm saying? My talent is unignorable. They can't ignore my talent unless they lie on it. They lie on it and try to attribute it to other people, and then that's the only way they can ignore my talent. They can't ignore my talent. I got true natural talent. It's unignorable. You know what I'm saying? And that proves in itself, and that confirms everything else I was saying, because that's their motive for doing all this to my life. Slandering me, lying on me with heavy stuff and all that. So that's the motive there. You know what I'm saying? My talent, my natural talent, immense talent, which is obvious, blatant, and can be displayed at any time at will, off muscle. So they're allowing these people who they're using to like try to de-emphasize, mislabel, misrepresent, distort, and trivialize my talent and everything about me. You feel me? In order to try to attribute it to people who has nothing to do with, you know what I'm saying, by lying, you know what I'm saying, then saying that they're the ones that's doing the lying though. And then they get mad. You feel me? I mean, that's too bad. You got people, they actually let people steal your stuff so they can get away with murdering you secretly for no reason, just because they know that your talent potential is greater than whatever they got. You feel me? So that's why all these passes be given 365, you know what I'm saying, to try to take out a messenger of Jesus, messenger of God with structured knowledge. So that tells you everything. I don't understand how on earth anybody could think that, you know, it can be anything, have anything to do with God. You know what I'm saying? When the whole society know that they're doing this to a work of God and then doing nothing about it because they love who's doing it more than they do God. Well, the choice made. Antichrist society. Obvious. Just saying, man. When it comes to those influential figures, you know, that's the game they play. They playing the game with me, but I'm not participating in it, and I never was. You know what I'm saying? They try to manipulate me, though. Feel me? But yeah, they envy my omega, and then among other things, they envy my talent, my natural skill. Even though it ain't nothing combative nor problematic, they try to turn it into that by allowing these things to happen to me to make me aggressive. You feel me? It's like, just like, you know, like training a dog. You know what I'm saying? Like when you know what I'm saying? Like animals. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's what they do. They treat you like animals. They try to make you a certain way through conditioning and things by, you know, allowing the certain evils and all that. So it's an elaborate situation, you know. I mean, whoever do it is anti-God. So I mean, you choose, you know, symbolism or idolatry, you know, over God, then just remove His name. You know, it makes sense. You know, you chose the demons and works of Satan over works of God. I mean, those influential figures in hell, they not nobody. You feel me? In hell, they not nobody. People, they misunderstanding the gravity of, gravity of what hell is and how bad it really is. They don't really register, like, because they in the physical, I don't think they gonna ever die or it's gonna ever happen. But I mean, those influential figures, like, I mean, in hell, they not nobody. You just by yourself. With all your torture, all the plagues that you giving to others, you know, gonna be poured back on them. So I mean, forever, millions of years, and God go flip the script, because just like they made my whole life hell in the earth, you know what I'm saying? I've never known life, you know what I'm saying? God go flip the script. I'm gonna have eternal life, peace, joy, happiness, and things they try to defile, you know, all year, every year out of jealousy. You know, I'm gonna have all that forever, ain't nothing they can do to take it. You feel me? Millions of years. While the tables go turn, and everything that they took me through, God gonna pour that back on them. And everybody who enabled or loved, you know what I'm saying, these evil demon influences, you know what I'm saying, that much, then God gonna give all their plagues that they deserve to them. You say, get what I'm saying? Like, God gonna send them straight to hell. Like, they're going to hell, the influences, but everybody that enabled them and, you know, chose to worship the beast, you know what I'm saying, which is demons, you know what I'm saying? That's basically what it is, what you're saying. You're saying you're worshiping demons. You know, you accepted the mark. It's just not formal yet. You feel me? That's what they're saying by choosing, you know what I'm saying, to enable evil against messenger of Jesus. I mean, you obviously choosing demons over God. So, I mean, clearly, but I mean, that's pretty much what it is. God go flip the script with all the hell, you know what I'm saying? God go give all that back, because that's why He made sure everybody knew. So then nobody can't say they didn't know. You feel me? God just is intellectual. But see, God is God. He's the God of the living, not the dead. God is in the spiritual world. He's not just the king of the earth, but also of the universe. You feel me? So in the other world, that's when things really get real. And then they realize how much their actions on this side, you know, contributed to what they see and face on the other side for all eternity. For millions and millions of years, they're going to be, you know, partaking in a portion that they earned themselves on this side forever. So I can't really be too mad, but I mean, but you see though, that is not the way the timeline was supposed to be. It's the way they turned it into. They chose that timeline. You know, they chose evil over God just generally. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, that was an intentional action, intentional effort. But God gonna flip the script back, you know, because he's the righteous judge. I mean, everything God does is righteous and fair. He's fair and equal. So I never had a life in the physical world. I never had a fair chance at a life. I never had experienced freedom. I never had any of those things. You know, it was taken before, you know what I'm saying, I even could make any decisions for myself. It was taken by structures and stuff because the blessing of God was on my life, and some people coveted it and said it was the wrong person. They thought it was on the wrong person. So they destroyed my life every year, ever since. You know what I'm saying? They lied, then they find some kind of way to be able to degrade the quality of my life every year, ever since. You know, totally unfairly, and all the way up to this point. So my whole life, I've never known life. So I got it forever. Millions and millions of years, I might have that, you know what I'm saying, in the other realm. While the guy gonna flip the script, all them had they heaven on earth at my expense by what they did to me. They're gonna have hell for millions and millions of years, and not just on the earth, but God gonna make it hard on the earth for everybody, but also those that go to hell, it's gonna be just as bad. God's gonna make it harder for them to get to heaven. You know what I'm saying? When you understand the nature of the you know, the things that's coming, the coming judgments, you know, and also how it's gonna change. You know, God gonna make it harder for them to get into heaven on purpose. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be forced where they gotta choose between accepting the mark or eating. You feel me? They gotta choose between going to heaven or, you know what I'm saying, eating. God, trust me, it's gonna get like that, you know. But it's totally understood and deserved though, you know. So I mean, it's the nature of the situation, you know.